just wanted to drop these images in here. Unfortunately, I did not record the process. It was a new client and I had no idea she was going to go this involved with the design, but I will record her in the future. But for now, this video, we are going to be doing this beautiful Lacey design. I cannot wait to show it to you, and we're going to get right into that right now. All right, everyone, welcome back to Nails by Stephanie. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome back, welcome in. If this is your first time here, if you are returning, very glad to see you again. We are starting in with another manicure on one of my clients. You probably recognize her hands by now. This is Sarah, and we are doing a black lacy French design. I absolutely, easily one of my favorite sets I've ever done. Was a little nervous about doing this set because for whatever reason lately my sets have been taking a little bit longer to get done. I don't know if I've been getting in my own head or if you get relaxed, you get comfortable with certain clients, you chat it up a little bit more, you get distracted. So really trying to get my speed back up. And the last two sets I did, this one with Sarah and the upcoming one with Carly, I really was able to get my speed up quite well, which I'm very happy about. I think the set that I did on Carly was the fastest I've done in a hot minute. Spilling onto her cuticle, that was lots of fun, unintentional, just dripped right off of the brush. But went in with a little bit of acetone, cleaned it up, rebalanced the nail, and it came out fine. But yeah, so this design is going to be, we'll get into Carly when we do that video, but this one is Sarah, and we're doing that lacy French design, starting out with a backfill. Actually, no, we're not doing a backfill. We're just doing a gentle, a very thin Builder Gel overlay. This is a step that I usually do when doing a full new set of Gel X, but I really wanted to use this color as a base. I don't have anything like it when it comes to a gel polish. I will have to look into getting that because I don't want to use my Builder Gels as base colors. But it's a beautiful color from Light Elegance. It's called Sparkling Rosé. It's part of their Jimmy Gel line for their Builder Gel. And it's just very soft, very elegant, and goes on so smoothly. So it serves two purposes. It goes in and fills that little bit of edge from the Gel X nails, the first application. If you have any problems with blending that into the nail, you could always go in and do a light overlay. But really, I'm just using it for the color. So going in very lightly and smoothing it into, or leveling it off into the sidewalls and the cuticle line, and then flash curing it before moving on to the next nail. All right, now all 10 nails are flash cured. I kind of skipped a step here. I'm going to go back and correct it. I should have gone in right away with my matte top coat, which I always do whenever I'm doing any kind of fine line artwork or designs on top of the nail where I don't want excessive bleeding of the line. I want a nice, sharp, crisp black line. And for whatever reason, I didn't do it to start off with. So by the time I finished the design on her pinky, it was starting to bleed a little bit. So I corrected it, but then once I flash cured it, I did go in and do a velvet matte top coat using Madame Glam's velvet matte top coat. And it just makes things so much easier. It gives a really nice, smooth, clean finish to the nail to paint on, and you don't have to worry about your lines bleeding and becoming messy looking. So this manicure went very quickly, very smoothly. As I said, or started to say, it made me nervous going into this design because my designs have been taking a little bit longer with each manicure, but I was hyper aware of the fact that I didn't have a limited time with her. I did have a client right after her, so this needed to get done in a specific amount of time. There was a little bit more of an elaborate design I originally wanted to go with, but the length of her nail and the narrowness, she's got very petite nail beds, didn't really allow for a lot of detail in between the lace work. If I had spaced out the lattice a little bit more, I would have been able to go in with a little bit more filigree, which is what I wanted to initially do, following with the reference image, but I ended up bringing that floral work, the filigree, down into the bottom part of the nail underneath the French manicure line, and you'll see that coming up a little bit later. But I'm going to do each nail in quick succession, doing the lattice work on all of the nails, and going back and doing some pointillism, some dot work along the edging of the French manicure line, and then going in with that floral filigree. So right now I'm just going in with that matte top coat so that I can go in and do the rest of the lattice work on the French tip. So this is something that you really don't want to get too much in your head about. You want to keep your movements really small, really tight. Balance your hand or your arm on the edge of the table, and just keep your strokes very short and deliberate. So I'm bracing her finger with my thumb and forefinger of my left hand, and then when I go in to do the straight lines, I'm moving her finger, not the brush. So, I mean, of course, I'm dragging the brush across her hand, but when I'm rotating the finger left to right, I'm doing that work with my left hand, not with the brush. So I can keep the brush angled in the same direction for each line. I can control that movement a little bit better and not have to worry about really lining anything up. I'm just keeping the strokes tight, concise, and as stable as possible. So at this point, I'm looking at the nail and trying to figure out how to work in the filigree, and I realize I can't do it on top of the lace work. You just won't see it. It's going to make it look a hot mess, for lack of a better phrase. So I decided to pull it down into the base of the into the body of the nail, and I'm just doing some, dots with the brush. I didn't want to keep switching back and forth between the dotting tool and the brush. That's going to eat up a lot of my time. You want to keep your tools minimal and just use them for multiple purposes as best as you can. So wiggling the brush a little bit in place to get a dollop of the gel paint where I wanted to create that little, the bulb of the leaf or the flower, and then dragging it down in a curve to meet the French line accent, to kind of make it look like it's an embellishment of the lace coming up into the body of the nail. And I'm basically doing the same thing on each nail, just a little bit different in terms of the direction of the lines, whether there's 3 petals or leaves, whatever you want to call it, or 2 or a little bit more, to just give it a little bit more of a lacy embellishment. To finish off the lace, I'm going in with the dotting tool and just putting in some marks at the joins where, the cross section of the lace, the cross hatching, to make it look a little bit more authentic. I've never made lace myself, but whenever you look at lace patterns, there's always the knotting embellishments where the lines intersect. So I wanted to add that in and create a little bit more of a true lattice or lace feel to it. But the design is finished now. All we have to do is go in and base and top coat. I always go in with a base coat first to add an extra layer of protection on the nail. It also helps if you have a raised design to smooth it out before you go in with a top coat. And it also, I find whenever I do a base coat before I do the top coat, it makes that top coat even more shiny. So I always base coat, top coat, and then a little bit of hand moisturizer, cuticle oil, and a hot towel to finish off the experience. All right, after finish filing and doing cuticle oil, that's going to bring us to the end of this manicure. Thank you everyone for joining me once again. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, please drop them down below. Comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.